It's our very first time in Wales, and today we're going to be spending the day exploring Cardiff. We actually came in by train yesterday, and we had a beautiful train ride that went through both England and Wales, and England again. And then we checked into our hotel and got an even better, more amazing first time in Wales experience. We were upgraded by Hilton to an executive suite with a view of the castle. Just checked in and that's what they gave us. So we are so excited right now.
Yeah.
What an introduction to Wales.
Exactly. There's even a fancy note from like the general manager for us up here.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. Good little
Here's
basket
the
of
money.
goodies. Yeah, this is great. We felt it was appropriate that since our first real introduction to Cardiff was with the castle, that we would start our day there. The site of Cardiff Castle was actually originally a Roman fort. They built the castle in the same location as the fort in the 11th century. In the mid-18th century, many of the medieval walls and buildings were demolished and the castle was remodeled in Gothic Revival style. And I was reading online that at the time, the Gothic Revival furniture in there was supposed to be like the best of Gothic Revival. Now, I know that Monty Python and the Holy Grail was, I believe, mostly filmed in Scotland, but it's kind of giving me Monty Python vibes. I like it. It's like a cute little castle. And, you know, not a medieval castle because it was redone in the 1800s or the 18th century, the 1700s. Math. It is neat though. There's like growth and vegetation happening. You can see like a tree growing out the side of it. I like it. It's a cute little castle.
I like that it's on a hill. I don't know why. It's cute. It's on a hill.
The hill makes it seem bigger.
It kind of does, yeah.
I think in the same time period that the castle was remodeled, most of these other structures were built. So most everything that's inside of the castle walls is, I believe, from the 18th century as well.
You can actually go up and visit the castle for about 14 or 15 pounds. It is just kind of the empty ruins of it at this point. So we decided to just come and take in the views from the square. But that is an option for you over there, and it does look pretty cool.
You can also go inside the library and banqueting hall, which looks like it's pretty neat inside. The clock tower is quite magnificent though, isn't it?
It is very cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All the gold and the colors that are still on it, it's very pretty.
We have plenty to explore here in the city center, but it is supposed to rain pretty hard later this afternoon, so we're gonna head down to Cardiff Bay while the weather is still nice. This used to be the bay where they exported things like coal, and now it's popular for its many entertainment options. This right here is the Wales Millennium Centre. There's the Mermaid Quay. I noticed there were things even down here named after Roald Dahl, which I did not realize that Roald Dahl was Welsh, but he was a Welsh author and a good one growing up.
Thanks for the Nightmares of the Witches. Actually never read the book of that, but the movie, the Jim Henson movie in the 80s, that was creepy. It was very creepy.
Pretty terrifying
Yeah.
as a child. It is so windy down here. I really wanted to there's a bunch of different boat tours that will take you along the river, and I really wanted to do that today. And when we looked online this morning, they were all closed and not operating because of the weather, and now I understand why. It's very choppy out there. It's still gorgeous to look at, even if the weather's not ideal. Yeah, those are like all the different boat options, but there are no boats out there. Somebody help me out. What does that say?
I know.
Do you think it just says Mermaid Quay?
Maybe.
It probably says, enjoy your day like the other side does. One of the things that I love about Cardiff is that they seem to really embrace all of the filming that happens here. Like right here behind me is a shrine for the show Torchwood. I've never actually watched that show, but I'm seeing on the wall, I'm assuming that John Barrowman is in it because there's pictures of him, and now I'm like, yeah, I've got to watch it. I have to watch it now.
It's Captain Jack. You like Captain Jack from Doctor Who?
I do, yeah. Years ago, when Jeremy and I first started talking about the possibility of ever going to the UK, one of the places that Jeremy most wanted to go was here in Cardiff. And that's because he's a big Doctor Who fan.
You're a fan.
I'm a fan. Holler at your girl if you're a Team Donna person like me. But Jeremy is a much bigger Doctor Who fan.
I mean, I know there's bigger fans than me, but not everyone maybe knows that I have that. But yeah, there's a lot of it was filmed here in Cardiff, especially the Torchwood show, but a lot of the Matt Smith and David Tennant era stuff was filmed in this area. In fact, there was a Doctor Who experience, but it is sadly now closed.
Yeah, that was like one of the things when we started initially looking at Cardiff last year, was like, oh, we could do that.
And then I went and looked it up and went, oh, it closed a couple years ago.
We noticed that there's normally a Ferris wheel here, but it's so windy that it makes sense that they don't have it.
We saw a Ferris wheel by our hotel and went, is that it? Well, we're not by the water, that can't be it, but I think that's it.
Yeah, they must move it for the winter.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though.
This is the Pearson building, I believe it's called. I think that this used to be a building for the railroad. It is a magnificent building. I just love the like red brick Gothic look. It has really amazing little details on it.
To go along with the nerdiness of seeing Doctor Who filming locations, the record store kid in me super nerded out when Kara told me that the oldest record store in the world is here in Cardiff. And it's right behind me, and I'm pretty excited to go check it out.
This is Spiller's Records, and as you can see on the sign right here, it was established in 1894. They started out selling phonographs and phonograph discs and things related to phonographs. And here today, nearly 130 years later, they are still selling records. Oh, it's cool. They still have artifacts of the bygone era in here. It's pretty small in there, but it's really amazing that it has such a fascinating and cool history. And I don't know that this is the original location. I know that they've moved at least once, I think maybe a couple times. But what is cool is that it is in one of the famous Cardiff Arcades. The store has an angel mug. I wasn't intending to buy anything today, but these arcades are full of amazing and unique shops, food places, all kinds of neat things that are very enticing to me. Cardiff is known as the city of arcades, and just in the short time that we've walked around between getting to our hotel and wandering today, we've come across many of them. This one that the record store is in is called the Morgan Arcade, and even just walking through it, we've already been doing a lot of window shopping because there are a lot of amazing things and quirky stores and good-looking foods just in this one, but we have another one in mind.
We are about to visit the Castle Arcade, which is conveniently located right by the castle. It's not just a clever name, but we've also been told that this one's a good one. So we've got to go in and check out what's going on.
This suave bar is called Gin and Juice. Do you think that it's laid back? Unlike some other arcades, it has a balcony.
It's right up there. There's a really cool view from up here on the balcony.
The view is pretty, but also giving me a little bit of vertigo. We decided, since in the US we have a lot of coffee shops, and I don't think we have very many, if any, tea shops where you can just sit and have a cup of tea, that we would come to this place called Bird and Blend. I got their Welsh cake tea, which is a rooibos with cinnamon. It smells wonderful. And Jeremy got
It was like a raspberry ripple matcha latte, something like that. I don't know. said it was a good choice.
It looks really good. They both look really good. Plus, I love that my mug says good vibes. This is so wonderful, and they made it into a latte, so it's just frothy and milky and delicious. This is an experience I could get used to. I'm so used to going to coffee shops that having a tea and a latte like this, chef's kiss, and in a wonderful place to do it. I haven't had an actual Welsh cake yet to know what to compare that to, but that tea was really good. And that reminds me, we are going to try Welsh cakes, but that'll be another video, so stay tuned for that. When we last left you, it was at the Castle Arcade. We ended up getting poured on, so we decided we'll take the Toot bus, the hop on, hop off bus. And pretty much as soon as we got on it, it cleared up. It was a pretty nice evening. It went back down by Cardiff Bay, and we got to see the church that Roald Dahl was baptized in. We got to see the BBC, which was really cool and had Daleks on the window. We could see like the backs of the sets, like the facades. That was pretty cool. I learned a couple really fun facts on that. The first one is that when Wales became part of the United Kingdom, that there were 13 counties initially. Just like in America, we had 13 colonies initially. Thought that was a fun matching fact. The second fun fact that I thought was a really amazing fact that we learned on the Toot bus is that the Welsh language dates back to 600 BC. It is the oldest language in at least Great Britain, possibly the UK. I don't quite remember that part of the fact, but the fact that it dates back that far is just incredible and makes sense as to why I feel like there's just a lot of, or a lack of vowels and a lot of letters. And I think that makes sense because it's a very old language. So I think we are going to officially call it a day. We definitely want to come back to Cardiff because I feel like we just barely scratched the surface and there's so much more to see here. Plus we want to take a road trip throughout Wales. So if you have any suggestions for us for the next time we come to Wales, please let us know because we will definitely be back. How was your first experience of Wales?
It was pretty cool. Still a little sad that the Doctor Who experience is gone, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Thank you so much for coming along with us. This has been an incredible experience. I just can't wait till we get to come back to Wales, but we are heading back to England and then later on to France. So we will see you very soon.
Thank you to our patrons for always supporting us and coming along on the adventures. If you're interested in access to Patreon-only videos and postcards from us, then check out the link below. And we'll see you next time when we're headed back to England.